All right, thank everybody for coming. Got almost a full house today. I will call the July 2nd, 2018 meeting of the Limestone County Commission to order. Pamela, is there any public comment?
No, sir, there are not any.
Okay. Could you please call roll?
Commissioner Hill.
Here.
Commissioner Turner.
Here.
Commissioner Black.
Here.
Commissioner Harrison.
Here.
All present. Commissioner Black, would you lead us in our pledge?
I will.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, sir. All right, I'll ask for a motion to approve the minutes from June 18, 2018. Do I hear such motion?
I'll make the motion.
I have a motion by Mr. Black. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Turner. Any discussion? There's no discussion. I'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Black.
Aye.
Commissioner Turner.
Aye.
Commissioner Hill.
Aye.
Commissioner Harrison.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Our next item, I'll ask for a motion to approve claims in the amount of $686,056.51. Do I hear such motion?
So moved.
I have a motion by Mr. Turner. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Hill. Any discussions? If there's no discussion, I'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Turner.
Aye.
Commissioner Hill.
Aye.
Commissioner Black.
Aye.
Commissioner Harrison.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Is there anybody besides Ben that has a conflict of interest?
I stay conflicted.
Okay.
No, I don't have any.
All right. Resolutions order. I'll ask for a motion to approve resolution agreement for carpenter tax abatement. Do I hear such motion?
I'll make the motion.
I have a motion by Mr. Black. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Turner. Any discussion?
This seems to be the only venue where we are able to discuss it all together. I do have some comments to make. First of all, what measures are we going to take as commission to make sure that all the unabated taxes that go 100% to the schools that are collected? Is any change in the process to ensure that those taxes will be collected? And is there?
They're collected by the state of Alabama for Limestone County as far as the educational sales tax, as far as the non-educated, excuse me, as far as the educational ad valorem property tax, that'll be through Brian Patterson's office, just like it always is. But I mean, the state.
Only it's the state.
The state collects the sales tax, so that'll be.
Well,
only
other counties, it's automatic. That's an audit after 3 years. And it doesn't have to be a part of this agreement, but that we just do that as a matter of request that of the state of Alabama.
We can do that at any time, Ben. Literally, we can. The chairman can at the end of this, when this is done, like a year from now. He can call, Pam can call the state and they'll audit it. We had done that on that original Carpenter deal.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
that's just.
Was that ever resolved?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
This is a difficult for me because especially since I went ahead and did the abatements for the Toyota Mazda, and that's unusual for me. But I was appreciative of the fact that they didn't request cash from us. If they had requested $10 million from us, it would have really hurt us. But they didn't do that, and Toyota Company is one that does not put undue burdens on the local governments that some companies do, and it's all legal. And Amendment 772, it allows this. And the Toyota Mazda deal was we had already approved the TIF for Huntsville, and basically all that we abated was in that TIF with Huntsville. We're going to enter the budget hearings here and shortly. And we don't have enough money to maintain our infrastructure for these economic development projects and just our normal veins and arteries of our transportation system. And I can argue that the taxes are too high for the sales and use taxes and the property taxes on these projects, but what I wish that we would do, and I don't know if it'll ever happen, but that we get with the state. And that's another thing. I mean, I'd like to meet face to face, eye to eye with the people who actually negotiate these contracts. We're told that the state does this and we're expected to rubber stamp it, and we're giving it on Wednesday or Friday afternoon, the actual agreement, and we're expected to have all our questions by 10 o'clock Monday morning, which that to me is a problem. And so, you know, I know this one doesn't involve any cash. There's no callbacks probably because of typically you don't have those on just an abatement, no cash. But we really are, I mean, it's a giving of a thing of value, and I know it's legal, but everywhere else it is not legal to give a thing of value to a private entity or a corporation, or except for this thing for economic development. And we're supposed to live in a free market capitalistic society, and I don't think we really truly have free markets, but in that case, it ought to be able, the companies ought to carry the risk of the project solely with their stockholders, with their, and that's where it should be, with the stakeholders and stockholders of the company, and that's where, I mean, and if they can't, if a project cannot be sustained based upon the economics of what they sell and the voluntary exchange of people who buy their products, then it should not be done. And I don't think there's a risk of this project not going ahead if we didn't do the abatements. So that's where I stand, and so I just want to tell everybody why I'm going to vote no on it.
Okey-doke.
15th time.
Is there any other comment? If no, we'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Black,
Aye.
Commissioner Turner,
Aye.
Commissioner Hill,
Aye.
Commissioner Harrison.
Nay.
Motion carries 3-1. There are no contracts, agreements, or grants coming for the commission. Budget revision be to remove $33,849 out of solid waste fee fund to do District 1. That's to pay for the tornado cleanup. Do I hear such a motion?
So moved.
A motion by Mr. Hill. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Turner. Any discussion? There's no discussion. I'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Hill,
Aye.
Commissioner Turner,
Aye.
Commissioner Black,
Aye.
Commissioner Harrison.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. There's no emergency purchase, no board appointments. I'll ask for a motion to award the gasoline and diesel bid to W.H. Thomas Oil Company Incorporated in the amount of 30 cents margin over rack. Do I hear such motion?
I'll make the motion.
I have a motion by Mr. Harrison. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Black. Any discussion? If there's no discussion, I'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Harrison,
Aye.
Commissioner Black,
Aye.
Commissioner Hill,
Aye.
Commissioner Turner.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Personnel actions, I'll ask for a motion to approve family medical leave for Justin Bomarito beginning June 15, 2018, and ending July 9, 2018. Do I hear such motion?
I'll make the motion.
I have a motion by Mr. Black. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Turner. Any discussion? There's no discussion. I'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Black,
Aye.
Commissioner Turner,
Aye.
Commissioner Hill,
Aye.
Commissioner Harrison.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Our esteemed Assistant County Engineer, Mr. Mark Massey, do you have anything for the commission?
We have nothing for you to take action on today.
Nothing. Would you like to do any pontification or anything to?
I'll catch you all after.
All right. Thank you, Mark. Other business. I'll ask for a motion to remove the following from the inventory from the engineering department, phone service, District 4. That's right. We're removing District 4 from inventory today. All right. So, do I hear such a motion?
I'll make the motion.
I have a motion by Mr. Harrison. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Black. Any discussion? If there's no discussion, I'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Harrison,
Aye.
Commissioner Black,
Aye.
Commissioner Hill,
Aye.
Commissioner Turner.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. At this time, we will have a public hearing regarding the county's intention to apply for a CDBG grant to provide funding for the development of water system improvements within the Tanner community. Lucas, if you'll step up to the microphone so everybody watching, and you can be recorded for posterity. Mr. Lucas Blankenship, Director of Economic Development for TARCOG.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Appreciate the opportunity to speak to all you. My understanding is that the Limestone County Water and Sewer Authority and the Limestone County Commission, Mark, you guys have had some previous discussion about the application to ADECA, CDBG funds,
Right, Darryl and I have.
for $350,000 to offset a portion of the cost to rehab and basically put in new water lines in the Tanner community. You have a packet of information in front of you. If you'll flip to page 2, that's kind of a map showing the project area, that T area. Disregard the housing authority area down on the bottom left. We're going to leave that potentially out of the project just due to some easement issues that are down there at this time. So you can kind of tell the project area outlined in yellow. It's going to primarily put new water lines in down Huntsville Browns Ferry Road, Stewart Road that runs down to Nuclear Plant Road, and also various neighborhood roads within that subdivision/trailer park area. Once again, Limestone County Water Sewer Authority would like to apply for $350,000 per the CDBG program with ADECA. Total project is estimated at roughly $2 million. I received the cost estimate
8-inch
this
line.
morning.
Be 8-inch line. Will this provide, was the volume to provide fire protection with this too? Great.
Darryl, do you have any other things you would like to say real quick? Or kind
I'm
of
sorry,
ex-
Lucas, I know Darryl died.
It's okay. It's okay. Perfectly fine. Darryl, would you explain to them kind of why we're doing this, in essence?
Well, I assumed it'd be 8-inch line. I just thought it not only would increase water service, but the fire protection's huge too.
Yes, sir. That is correct. It would be for fire protection. As many of you know, we have that water treatment facility there on Highway 31. That is this Tanner community, and that pipeline is kind of a gateway for us to push water to the west side of our system. That infrastructure there is a little bit long in the tooth. It's a slip-on pipe connection, a glued type connection, and so you have to be very cautious with the water pressure that you run in the area, because if you get it a little too high, you'll pop it loose, and then the west side of our system could be without water.
That has been there a while, and if it's
Yes, sir.
glued together. Wow. That's been, and this is just something that only the Water Authority does not qualify for, but the commission will, but it won't cost the commission any money. The Water Authority foot the bill, and it's a win-win for everybody, providing we do get the grant.
Land the grant. That's correct.
Darryl, for you, does everything under the road is sleeved, right? Is everything that goes across the road or under the road?
We are actually in this project going to be looking at acquiring easements and going through the side of the road and not under
Okay.
the roads. It's kind of how we're doing it. And then the most of the things that are going under the road are small secondary roads, and they would be
Sleeved?
yeah.
I know that Mark had mentioned it to me about this. I hadn't seen all of it yet, but it looks like 23 new fire hydrants, or at least replacing 23 old fire hydrants. So I bet there'll be an increase just because of the water there. So that's really good. I mean, that's just at a cost of $86,000, but that's value one life at $86,000 for a fire hydrant. So
It'll also reduce the residents' homeowners insurance.
yeah, so
Right.
that's good.
We have some hydrants in the area, but we've got several small lines
Yeah.
there, and so
Yeah.
this would improve that.
That'll be great. Thank y'all.
Yes, sir.
So, application will be due July 31, 2017 at 12 noon. You'll see a copy of a memorandum of understanding between the County Commission and the Limestone County Water Sewer Authority in your packet, in addition to a resolution that will need to be reviewed by the commission for adoption at the next county commission meeting potentially.
Get all that to Pam, and she'll disperse it to the commissioners and to Mark Macklin, our attorney, to go.
Sure thing. Already did the income surveying in the area. You're going to have 378 residents that will benefit from this. Of those 378, according to ADECA, 88% of them are low to moderate income. So you have some very high numbers from ADECA's perspective. So I feel the project will be highly competitive in regard to that. If you have any questions, by any means, the public, I'll answer them at this time. If not, I will step down.
Just get it.
I'll do my best.
All right. Thank you, Lucas.
Hey, Darrell, just one other question. Y'all have been able, y'all are running like 120 PSI to push water to west side of the county. Have y'all been able to reduce that by increasing these pipe sizes? And
Yes, sir, you would be able to reduce that some as you increase that pipe size. Of course, we have regulators in front of everybody's meter so that their individual home does not see that, but it would help us in that.
All right. Thanks, Lucas. This time we'll move to report of our officers. Commissioner Hill.
Have nothing.
Commissioner Turner.
Yeah, we, engineering guys should be finishing up on Jones Road today. We got everything done last week as far as the widening and leveling goes, except for one spot of about 400 feet, and they were gonna finish that up today, and then they'll be moving on to some other district. I appreciate the work they done in my district. It looks good. We are mowing the ditches. We've had to stop a couple of days because it rained so hard. It looks terrible. Looks better just leaving it standing than piling it up like a hayfield on the side of the road. Plus, we drag mud out on the road once the ditches get water in them. So we are trying to mow. With the county being off for the 4th of July Wednesday, that's going to cut into our mowing. And then I've got guys on vacation, so I don't know how much mowing we'll get done this week, but we will get some done. We're still trying to clean up some limbs and some debris that came down in the storm the other night. I would like to remind everybody that we only pick up what falls in the roadway. I know a lot of houses, Bradford Parish especially, those trees get blown, they break it if you stare at them too hard. And I know you don't. A lot of times people don't have anywhere to go with them, but dragging them out to the side of the road for us to pick up, that's technically not the county's responsibility since we don't have any private property authority. So if they fall in your yard, you need to figure out a way to take care of them.
Thank you, sir. Commissioner Black, I think you're going to be making a motion.
Yeah, and ditto to that, what he was talking about. We went around this morning and started picking up the tree limbs that fell in the road that we removed and set in the right of way. It may have actually been in some people's yards, but we're going around picking those up today. We're doing mowing also. It's going really, really well. Same thing with the ditches. As far as if it's muddy, we're skipping it. We'll come back and get it. I've got one thing I need to. I wanted to put on to have a bulldozer sold on Gov Deals that I just decided this morning that I want to do. Can I make a motion to do that and put it on Gov Deals this morning?
Yeah.
spin the rule.
We'll have to
Okay.
suspend the
Suspend the
rules.
rules.
That's fine. I want to make the motion to do that.
To
To suspend the rules.
Have a motion to suspend the rules, to place a piece of equipment on Gov Deals by Mr. Black. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Harrison. Any discussion? There's no discussion. I'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Black?
Aye.
Commissioner Harrison?
Aye.
Commissioner Hill?
Aye.
Commissioner Turner?
Motion carries unanimously. Mark, Pam, can I go ahead and take the motion to sell the bulldozer and to restripe this road in one motion? Thank you. Is that good with you?
I'm good.
Great.
I'd like to make a motion to sell the bulldozer on Gov Deals. I'd also am going to ask for approval for center line and edge striping. The road is Mooresville Road from Will Macomb to Huntsville Browns Ferry. It's 6.39 miles. Huntsville Browns Ferry from 31 to Mooresville, 4.5 miles. Shaw Road from US 72 to Nuclear Plant, 6.15, and Snake Road from Shaw until the end, down where it dead ends at 8.17 miles. This is just because these are very heavily traveled roads. I don't have the money to put a new surface on it, which would have new striping involved in it, so I'm going to do the best I can and put some stripes down the middle and on the edges. Let's just make that motion.
We have a motion as described by Mr. Black to do to put some striping down and sell a piece of equipment. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Turner. Any discussion? There's no discussion. I'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Black?
Aye.
Commissioner Turner?
Aye.
Commissioner Hill?
Aye.
Commissioner Harrison?
Aye.
Thank you.
Motion carries unanimously. Anything other?
That is it. Thank y'all.
Commissioner Harrison?
We finished up work on Sugar Creek Road last week. We will do additional work when the paving crew comes to our district. We moved to MD Roads. We're making temporary repairs on it to smooth it out and to get it to where fill the potholes. We're also hopefully had the last 2 loads of dirt moved to the library for the outdoor classroom, and that project should be. We've got to lay about 150 feet of tile, and then we'll be done with that one. And that's it.
Thank y'all for coming. I got a relay, Ben. I got a text from, oh, you go ahead.
I did want to say on the Carpenter's submission on Exhibit B, they did an excellent job, and it may have been in previous abatements too, but they did an excellent job of presenting the data on the abatements, and I've never seen that in an agreement before. It's probably been in there, of course, but in totals, but it was broken out in a way and very clear, and I appreciate that.
Well, I was gonna tell you that the gentleman that texted me over not wanting to close that road up there, that Iron Gate, whatever it is.
Sugar Creek, yeah.
And I told him that would ultimately be your call, and he texted me back that you and he were close personal friends, but y'all seldom agreed on anything. So it ain't just us, man.
So, even when it's friends, I try to do what's
So,
best.
listen, thank y'all all for coming. Daryl, thank y'all for coming. Matt, everybody, Tom, Teresa, everybody, Brandon. Everybody have a great week. Try to stay cool. Enjoy 4th of July as we celebrate our country's birthday. With that, we'll recess until 10 a.m. on Wednesday, July 11, 2018, at Wash Street Courthouse Annex, 310 West Washington Street, where we will start the fun process of budget hearings. Have a great week, y'all, and a happy 4th.